I know I said that there was going to come a time in this 30-day stretch of going live every day that I did not want to go live, and today would be day number 1 of that. Here I am, like the worst hair, like my makeup, I didn't even have makeup on today, but it's all rubbed off. Had a horrible day. Just in general, like every time it was a NICU day, and every time I go to the NICU these days, like my anxiety increases, my blood pressure increases, like the stress of it, just like it's not fun and enjoyable being in the NICU anymore. And on top of that, Joe is in Atlanta, and so I have to get the kids up extra early. I have to take them to somebody else's house and drop them off there so that that person can then take them to school so that I can make it to work on time. And then all the, life kids things after school is like immediate. And so I actually was thinking about what am I going to go live about today, and was thinking I'm actually going to talk about or like show you what it looks like when I start to feel this way, when I start to feel very heavy, very luteal, very overwhelmed, like I kind of lost my shit on the kids tonight, just asking for help, like I need help. And I noticed that when I get into that place of losing my shit with the kids, generally it's me kind of tipping into luteal. And so often what I'll do, I use my Oura ring to track where my temperature is at and like where my cycle's at. And so if you have a cycle that varies at all, or you're still trying to learn what's happening in your cycle, having something that measures your basal body temperature can be invaluable for helping you really understand what's happening. I'm a firm believer that cycle syncing, where you take the schedule and your cycle and you put it into your calendar, is really just the first step. And what I oftentimes tell people is, like, when you don't know what's happening with your body, just to take whatever your cycle length is, like say it's 28 days, and split it up and put it on there, 777. But what you'll find is that once you start learning and you start listening, your body may be very different, and the way it shifts as it moves throughout the month may be different, and being able to attune to that and be able to shift things in your schedule, in your capacity, and like what you hold yourself to, and all those types of things. And so for me, I oftentimes have a vague, like I know where I'm at like throughout the month, but I don't pay attention to it exactly. But when I get to a day like today, and I think, oh, I definitely feel like this is luteal, like this feels like luteal, I will open up my Oura Ring app and look at what my basal body temperature is. So basal body temperature is the temperature that you have at rest. So you have to take it first thing in the morning, or like when you're sleeping. So it's like your temperature at the basal point, like your lowest temperature, and that temperature will fluctuate and change as you move throughout the menstrual cycle. So once you've ovulated and progesterone kicks in, that temperature rises, and so you'll see that in that temperature. Now, when I say your temperature rises, it's like a teeny tiny little bit, and so you have to have a device, whether it's a thermometer or the Oura Ring or something that is attuned to being able to measure that incremental. So it could be changing from 98.6 to 98.7. It's not huge necessarily increases, but you want to be able to track that. So beginning of your cycle is lower, and then once that ovulation hits, you'll see a spike in your temperature, and then that spike stays there until you hit your menstrual phase, and then it drops off again. So on a day like today, that's what I would do. I would open up my app and I would look and say, okay, where did maybe ovulation happen? And also corresponding that to feelings and sensations that I feel in my body. So when you ovulate, you not only have that basal body temperature fluctuation, but you may also notice things that happen in your body as well. So one of the biggest one is cervical mucus. Like your cervical mucus changes as you move throughout the month. And so you compare symptoms like increased libido. You could pair that with, like your saliva changes. Maybe you just feel more confident and you feel more like glowy. And so you can pair all of those things with that basal body temperature to get a really good assessment of like where it happened and when ovulation happened. Then from ovulation on, that luteal phase never really changes in length. So person to person, we may vary, but for you, your time between ovulation to your bleed is going to stay the same. It doesn't fluctuate. So when we talk about tracking and looking at your cycle, if you're not tracking your ovulation, like you're missing out on a majority of what's happening. Like ovulation is the queen of your menstrual cycle, and most people aren't tracking that. So like I said, I was going to try to open up my app and be able to show you, but I'm not sure how to actually do that and record a live at the same time. So I need to get something to where I have a separate device, and I can open up the app on my phone. But yeah, luteal phase can start to hit pretty quick, and everybody's a little bit different. Sometimes women have, ovulation, and you have like 2-3 days maybe after ovulation where you still feel great and amazing, and then luteal starts to kick in. Some, it's like a little bit of a taper off and a taper in. That's generally how mine is, where I can feel that. And you'll start to notice those patterns for your individual self, like what's happening for you and what's happening in your body. Like that is the magic that cycle syncing really has to offer. Like cycle syncing is amazing when it, yes, increases your productivity and it increases your sales and it increases all these things. But like ultimately the beauty of the cycle syncing is helping you understand what's actually happening in your body and being able to attune and to adjust to that. So yeah, there was something else I was going to say on that. Luteal phase. Yeah, and as I parked here, like trying to pick up the kids, or one of them from soccer, I did the worst parallel parking job. And I'm kind of a little bit embarrassed and also not sure how I'm going to get back out of here. It's going to take me like a 20-point turn to get back out of this spot that I got myself into. And I've probably got like a ton of room on the back. I just like cut the corner too quick, and I was so embarrassed to the guy sitting in the car in front of me, and I didn't want to like pull out and start over. The worst. So we're just gonna put those sunglasses on and pretend like we're not going luteal, but I'm pretty confident. Oh, what I was gonna say, my cycle this month, I got into my app and I can't really tell. Like my temperature's all over the place, and I think it's because I've just been have had so much like stressor stuff happening. My body's like, we don't know where you're at and we don't know what's happening. So it's possible that I may not have actually even ovulated anyway, because a woman's body is so dependent on safety. And if cortisol is high, it's going to say, it ain't safe to bring a baby into this world. And it's going to shut off all those other hormones. So it's possible my stress has just been too much this month. That it's not going to ovulate at all. So we're going to go cocoon for now. I'm going to like put my little hoodie up and put my sunglasses back on and go wander out here like a messy bun mama and pick up my kiddos. So have a great rest of your day.